Hello everyone, and welcome to the Sub36 2021 Awards launch. I'm Mike Stevens, I'm a reporter for the BBC based here in Lancashire. I'll be hosting today's session, and the idea that this is an online version of our normal networking events. So we'll hear from some really interesting speakers, and there'll also be a chance to network, as we usually do, a little bit later on as well. Now, we'll also hear today a little bit more information about the Sub36 Awards, which have officially opened for entries for this year's awards. So we will hear from some previous winners about what it means to them and how the process works as well. And also today we will reveal the Sub36 ones to watch. This is Lancashire Business View's spotlight on young people in business here in the county. So Michele Lawty-Jones from our feature sponsor Lancashire Skills Hub will be joining us as we take a look at the list. Now, if you're new to Sub36 or it's been that long and you've forgotten what we do, we started life as a one-off feature in Lancashire Business View magazine. It's now a regular two-page feature. In it, we bring together the most influential, innovative, inspiring young people in business here in Lancashire. We provide a forum for professional development, for business growth, for networking, and we support younger people, those aged under 36, you guys who lead, own, or work in business and in professional services across the county. And we do this to help people who are under 36, those sub-36 professionals, to be stronger, to be better, to be more confident, and perhaps, most importantly, to get to know each other, to be better connected. That's what Sub36 is. Let's take a look at our Sub36 ones to watch list. Now, on our selection panel for this feature, we were joined by Sarah Gaskell, Strategic Partnership Manager at Lancashire Skills Hub. We were also joined by Yasmin Sunbull, Senior Engineering Area Manager at Openreach, Amy Stokes, Partner at Forbes, Shakira Mussarat, Relationships Director at Barclays, and also Jonathan Finch, Group Sales Director at Sales. So, on our final list, we have Hannah Churchman from Access Planet, Stuart King from Blackpool Resort, Mark Long from Brindle Distillery, Ben Crompton from Carnow Vehicle Leasing, Sam Coggin from the Coggin Group, Anthony Taylor and Jacob Knowles from Empine Group, Lee Chambers from Essentialised Workplace Wellbeing, Craig Ainscoe from Eventus Group, Helen Stewart from Farm Creative, Richard Gill from Go Virtual UK, Sophie Towers from Hillingdon and Kibble One Stop, Neve Allen from IoT Horizon, Luke Beardsworth from Lancs Live, Jamie Jack Gidley and Jordan Thornber from New Vision Games Studio, Jason Gavinci Bruce from Nori HR and Employment Law, Sam Riley from Northwest Skills Academy, Lucy O'Gorman from PM&M Solutions Business, Matt Simmons from Sales Geek, Andrew Robson from Specialist Taxation Services Europe, Matthew Ringland from Spiraflow, Matthew Catterall from Taylor Solicitors, Rebecca Jane from the PH7 Group. We also had Daniel Fisher from Tienda Digital, Nick Porter from True Bearing Chartered Financial Planners, Jenny Woolley from TWA Marketing, Alex Aitken from Woodside Designs Northwest, and Zara Moon from ZMA. So congratulations to all those who were listed. Commiserations if you didn't quite make the feature this year. Don't be disheartened, there'll still be loads of ways, loads of opportunities to get involved with Lancashire Business View, and we will have a little bit more information about this later on. Now, please give a warm welcome to Michele Lawty-Jones, Director of the Lancashire Skills Hub. The Lancashire Skills Hub sponsored this feature and also helped us to make the final decision on who would be listed. A tough job, Michele. First of all, tell us a little bit about the Skills Hub. Tell us what you do and where you add value.
Okay, thanks, Mike, and great to see that lineup in the magazine. It's just brilliant. So yeah, the Lancashire Skills Hub, we support a board which spans Lancashire called the Skills and Employment Advisory Panel. And essentially we bring together business with education providers to help ensure that we're supporting businesses to get the skills that they need. So we support the work of both the Lancashire Enterprise Partnership and also the local authorities across Lancashire. So we've got an economic lens to what we do in terms of supporting business, but also inclusive growth in terms of supporting the economic prosperity of the places and especially our people across Lancashire.
Fantastic. If you've got any questions for Michele as we go along, by the way, pop them in the chat box and we will be able to see them on here. Michele, you've got a new initiative that's launched, the Lancashire Skills Pledge. Tell us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. So the Lancashire Skills Pledge, I mean, it very much aligns with Lancashire Business View, kind of if you can buy it in Lancashire, buy it in Lancashire. This is actually about the people of Lancashire. So the Skills Pledge is very much about recognising Lancashire businesses that help to inspire Lancashire's future workforce, recruiting Lancashire people and developing their staff within their businesses. And it's also a simple means for businesses to pledge, get involved, and for us to connect them with partners. So today I just wanted to focus in on a number of the pledges that link to inspiring and recruiting, particularly younger people, obviously, because of the focus on the ones to watch and Sub36. So there are a number of pledges. Employers can pledge to support inspirational careers provision in schools and colleges, because we know the positive impact that employers can have on young people's aspiration, their insight into future jobs and careers, and also to kind of showcase their business. So employers can pledge to be an enterprise advisor, where they're matched to a local school or college and get hands-on and work with that school or college to provide an inspirational careers programme, whilst also using their little own black book to kind of bring in employers to give those activities and insights. They can pledge to give an hour, and the more employers that get involved, the better. So give an hour, it could be a mock interview, could be a career talk, could be a game that gives insight into different careers, could be a code club, all sorts of different stuff that you can get involved in to inspire young people, but also raise the profile of your business so you're likely to attract that future talent. Pledge to recruit an apprentice. We all know how fantastic apprentices are, really add value to businesses, and that's at a number of levels. You can be an apprentice ambassador, so go and spread the message. So we've got young apprentice ambassadors, adult apprentice ambassadors, can't get that out. You know, organisations, employer ambassadors who go out talking to businesses about the benefits of recruiting apprentices. And you can also pledge to provide an industry placement. And you'd be joining a fantastic group of employers. We've already got 70 businesses signed up, just over. We had a celebration at Christmas with those kind of first pledges. So they're being recognised for their commitment, and it's every shape and size. So we've got, you know, big organisations to SMEs, private, public and third sector. So from, you know, I'll chuck out a few names, shall I? You know, well, we could do a little round of applause if you like, but you know, from Plus 24 Marketing, BAE Systems, Brownlow Utilities, Burnley Borough Council, East Lancs Chamber, Conlon Construction, EKM, Essentialise, Forbes, Herbert Parkinson, James Place, Lancashire Constabulary, Milliamp, Napthans, Redfern, Safran, Regenda, Careful. I mean, there's a whole host of different businesses, you know, signed up, and you can get the flavour from there in terms of the diversity as well, which is fabulous in terms of them inspiring, recruiting and developing the people of Lancashire. So it's a great thing to get involved in. And as I say, there's that recognition as being, you know, signed up to the pledge. We do quite a lot of publicity around that, and we'll be doing a lot more with Richard through Lancashire Business View. And also, you know, if you're a business and you're not involved, you can, there's a kind of digital platform on the Skills Hub website. So you tick the boxes in terms of which pledges you're interested in, and we'll link you up with people to make things happen. So it's dead easy as well to get involved.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
You're doing some great work. Over the past 12 or so months, how have you seen the needs of people you work with, the needs of businesses, the needs of individuals? How have you seen those change over the past year or so?
Yeah, so obviously the impacts of the pandemic, I mean, you know, nobody saw it coming, did they? So, you know, very unprepared, I would suggest, in the first instance. And we've obviously seen a different impact on different sectors, different people, different places. So some sectors like hospitality, civil aerospace and so on, we've seen a really significant impact. You know, some businesses have been able to diversify, particularly within manufacturing. Others, we've seen a boost in business, if you look at warehousing, logistics, health and social care, food and drink manufacture, so a very different picture for different sectors. I can see your cat's joined us as well, distracting me in the background.
All right.
Yeah, oh, I love a cat. Also, in terms of places and people, we've seen a more adverse impact on younger people as well, unfortunately. So I think that 16 to 24-year-old group, we have seen, when you look at the data, higher levels of furlough, higher levels of unemployment in that age group, particularly in our more disadvantaged areas. So we need to work together to give those young people a leg up, because they've got so much skill, so much insight to offer as well. And we've also seen, in terms of young people in education, kind of a knock on their aspiration and some kind of, negative perceptions of the job market. Although, when you do actually look at the job market and analyse the vacancies, we've got more vacancies than we had this time last year, which is brilliant. The shape is slightly different in terms of where the demand is. And what we've seen as well is, no surprise, is an absolute increase in the demand for digital skills. And that's across the board, from, supporting people with basic digital skills to access public services and so on, right through to the higher level skills. So, significant demand around digital marketing, e-commerce, as you would expect. We've been supporting independent retailers and hospitality to pivot towards digital. And a significant demand at the higher level skills, so things like cyber security, software programming and so on. So, we've been running boot camps across Lancashire to support unemployed people into relatively high value roles. So a lot of support to individuals to help them pivot from sector to sector and apply their skills to different contexts, different environments, and equally with businesses, thinking about how you can shift your business model to the new world, so to speak. But a lot of creativity and a lot of the Lancashire community coming together as well. So, some positives in there, as well as obviously the challenges that we've faced over the last.
Absolutely. And when you talk about how difficult it's been specifically for younger people over the past 12 months, do you think that makes it more important than ever that we share the successes of young people in business?
Yeah, absolutely. Those positive role models, because I think, if you think about some areas of Lancashire, I mean, East Lancashire into Blackpool, Morecambe and so on, we really need those positive role models to show actually you could be me. So I think, all that we can do to bring, the ones to watch, we absolutely want you on board. We want you talking to young people across our schools and colleges about your journey and how you got to be where you are. So I think, there's some really good stories to tell, as well as to our business community, who we want to, encourage to employ young people and to, to take them into the workforce. I mean, I've had the pleasure of sitting on quite a number of different judging panels around Sub36, my colleague Sarah, around the ones to watch, and we're always absolutely bowled away by the talent that's coming forward, and fresh ideas, a new perspective, different skills, the ability to use digital, is brilliant. And whatever we see, there's always benefits to the businesses involved, are really singing the praises of their younger workforce. So, there's two angles. One, inspire young people who are finding it tough at the moment, who are in education, have got to make that transition into employment. And the other is, tell employers how fabulous it is to take young talent into your workforce and the impact that it can have.
Excellent. We are getting some questions in on the chat box. Jennifer Woolley says, what would your top piece of advice be for the ones to watch list?
Oh gosh, top piece of advice, blimey. Be ambitious, I think. So don't put any limiting beliefs or factors in your way, because you're doing some really amazing stuff. So I think it's be ambitious, be cheeky, ask the questions, ring people up, ask for help, engage with people. I think one of the things that I learned quite early on in my career, I was a little bit shy in terms of getting on the phone and asking for people to get involved or to partner on things. And actually, you know, more often than not, when you pick up the phone and ask people, you always get a positive response. So I think, you know, be ambitious, be persistent, and be a bit cheeky would be my advice.
Absolutely. I like that. Get it on a tea towel. Be a bit cheeky.
Be a bit cheeky, yeah.
Lee Chambers says, what ways can we generate inspiration from an early age and showcase the options and opportunities that future career pathways will have?
Absolutely. So I think, you know, what I was saying about the pledge in terms of getting involved in the careers work, you know, we've got kind of an infrastructure across Lancashire now, working with all 154 secondary schools and colleges, including the alternative providers and the SEN schools as well. So every type of school. And we've got people that can now help broker those relationships, so that we can bring businesses in, individuals to talk to young people about their career journey. So it is about that inspiration. And some of it is about breaking the stereotypes early on as well. So there is activity going on around primary schools as well, even, you know, where, you know, for example, you know, we've got 1 in 6 in our digital workforce of females, which is quite shocking really, and it's aging, which again, kind of, I find quite amazing, but hey, so, you know, we need to do work to kind of, oh look, and Neve has just said, women in STEM roles, absolutely, we need more kind of diversity in the role models that are going into schools and into colleges to show that actually, you know, you're like me, you can do this. This is a fantastic career opportunity for you. And all that we do as well with aligns with where the job opportunities are in Lancashire. So by bringing in the Lancashire businesses, it really showcases, you know, some of the fantastic opportunities we've got in businesses across Lancashire, so that young people can identify where their future kind of lies, where their ambitions are, you know, so some great stuff going on.
Excellent. Michele, we've also had a few people who have contacted us who want to get involved in the hub. I know there'll be other people who want to get involved as well. If people want to contact you directly, what's the best way to get in?
Yeah, so you can either go onto the Lancashire Skills Hub website and message us via that. There's a contact us page, or we're on Twitter at Lanc Skills Hub, and I'm sure Sarah's tweeting right now. Or, you know, you can email us at lancskillshub@lancashirelep.co.uk. But as I say, the skills pledge is fully automated. If you go onto the website, it's dead easy to sign up, and one of us will get in touch with you to discuss your aspirations and, you know, get things moving. So it'd be great to get more businesses involved.
Fantastic. Michele, lovely to speak to you. Thank you so much for joining us today. That's Michele Lawty-Jones.
Thanks very much.
Let's meet some of the fantastic individuals covered in the Sub36 Ones to Watch report. Please welcome Lee Chambers, founder of Essentialised Workplace Wellbeing and Director of Wellbeing Lancashire. Neve Allen, Sales and Marketing Director of IoT Horizon. And Jenny Woolley, Director of TWA Marketing. So first of all, let's find out a little bit more about each of you. So Lee, if we start with you, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your role within the business.
So I'm Lee Chambers, and I'm the founder and director of Essentialised Workplace Wellbeing, and a lot of our work is around helping SMEs to implement wellbeing strategies within their organisations and to look at how they can deliver them effectively, look at using measurement and data to ensure that what they're delivering brings value on investment and actually looks to be something that can be embedded within the organisation and can actually grow and evolve as the wellbeing needs change.
Excellent. And Neve?
Yeah, so I'm the Sales Marketing Director of IoT Horizon. We are an Internet of Things and digital transformation specialist. So we help companies adopt either new and existing technologies. So we look at why are you doing it? What's the business case? What's the return on investment? What areas do you actually want to focus on instead of spending 18 months trying to work a Raspberry Pi? So that's us. We look at various industries, various sectors and various solutions, but it's very much back down to what is your business case and what's your return on investment.
Lovely. And Jenny?
Hi, I'm the director and co-owner of TWA Marketing. The name is what it says on the tin. We do everything in terms of content. We help brands tell their stories, from awards, white papers, case studies to ultimately drive more sales and build that brand.
Excellent. And Jenny, how are you feeling about being included on the list?
I think it's brilliant. I think the fact that we're right next to Manchester and Liverpool is a huge drain on young talent, and the fact that there's 36 of us now on this list is absolutely brilliant. As a business, it's a strange one for us because we're so used to putting clients forward for awards and celebrating their successes. So for us to actually put ourselves forward is quite a humbling experience. So it's absolutely brilliant. I'm a little bit lost for words.
Lee, are you lost for words as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a privilege to be recognised, and obviously in our day-to-day work, we're trying to get the best outcomes we can for our clients. We're really looking to make a difference and an impact, and you know, so often you're so busy day to day, you kind of forget to celebrate those small wins that you have. And generally, I'm celebrating, you know, benefits and impact for my clients and the people that I'm working with. And you know, quite often you don't really get the chance to slow down when you're passionate about what you do. And I suppose what this has done is kind of just put me on the head and made me think for a minute and appreciate that someone's put me forward. And I'm obviously very lucky to be recognised in that respect.
Absolutely. And Neve, how are you feeling?
Yeah, exact same. It was a complete shock, to be honest, when I read the email. I didn't realise it was similar position to Jennifer, that it's very much, we're an SME, so we're always trying to get ourselves and our brand recognised, but trying to push the people behind the business is like Lisa, you don't have the time, you always go. So yeah, it was just humbling to know that somebody out there thought I was good enough to be on the Sub36 ones to watch.
Absolutely. Well, you can submit any questions that you've got for our panel today. Again, you can use the chat function at the bottom of your screen. Phoebe's been in touch. Phoebe Wright, she says, how can you stand out as an employee and not an owner? Neve.
I would say put your ideas forward, stand out from the crowd. Don't be afraid of, you know, if you've got an idea, come forward and say that idea. I find sometimes in our business, it's very much about when we've got a team meeting, making sure everybody has an opportunity to speak and making sure if you've got an idea, just put your hand up and say, I've got an idea. I think this would be a good direction for the strategy of the business. I think this, you know, it might not be your role, but who cares? If you've got something to say, you've got an idea, I would just put it forward.
Lee?
Yeah, what I'd say is there has been a little bit of a liberation, especially in terms of social media, about really being able to, you know, write and showcase the value and the understanding that you've got about your industry. And what it's done is, even for people in, you know, less senior positions, it actually becomes a way to become really known for the work that you do, for you to show a little bit of your own thought leadership, and actually to be a bit brave and step out there and, you know, look at things that might not conform to the exact standards, but actually might be the ideas that actually conform in the future, because everything that's implemented today was probably a bit crazy 5 years ago.
Absolutely. Jenny?
For me, it's embrace your weaknesses and actually how can those become a strength. I personally massively suffer from imposter syndrome, but actually that's a huge strength. I'm working with board directors, leaders of businesses that are running multi-billion-pound turnover businesses. So I think I have to prove myself that little bit more because I am younger by 20 years, but I see that as a positive because it keeps me on my toes and it means that I'll go in there and work that little bit harder rather than taking it for granted.
Absolutely. Well, we've got some more questions coming in. Becky Hull, Creative Director of Two Stories, says, what is your biggest driver or motivation, Lee?
A big one for me is obviously I've been through some significant health challenges myself, and that caused me to reflect significantly on the impact that I wanted to make with the business that I was creating. I suppose the thing that drives me is making a positive impact for other people, because we can do that for our businesses, and no matter what we deliver, there's always a social impact element of being able to, you know, assist both the people who we deal with, but also, to me, the next generation, to create better workplace cultures for the next generation to come into so they can thrive and flourish.
Neve, what would you say your biggest driver is, your biggest motivation?
When I came straight out of college, I went straight into business, and that was probably the biggest learning curve I ever had. I'd never really done a business setting, and I just was thrown straight in. And then I think I've always had, similar to Jennifer, had that imposter syndrome of, am I good enough? I didn't go straight into a degree route. I went straight into technology. And I think I'm now doing a part-time degree and I've come back around full circle. But I think at the time it was something I was worried about, that I'm not good enough and my conversations and what I have to say isn't as good as somebody else. So my biggest drive is probably overcoming that, having the confidence and the intelligence to think, no, I'm here, I'm good enough, and I'm delivering something. So, yeah.
Excellent. And Jenny, what would you say your biggest motivation is?
I think it would be, I'd love to be a role model for someone, and I know that sounds really cheesy, but I'd love someone to look at me now or in the future and think, bloody hell, I could do that. I think my dad's advice to me when I was younger was do better than me. That was it. That was all he said. And I've interviewed some amazing people, especially females, and I do even still interview them, writing their stories. I do get a little girl crush of thinking, oh my God, it's amazing what they've done. And if I could be that person one day that somebody interviews me and has that feeling, I think I've done well.
Absolutely. Lisa Leyland says, how quickly do you feel Lancashire businesses will bounce back from the pandemic? Lee?
I think, like anything, in terms of our people and our recovery, we're a resilient and gritty county. We have an awful lot going for us, and we have a really diverse mix from, the rural elements to our town centres. And I feel that diversity is really going to help us to push forward. We're also starting to look, forward to the 2025 digital city and culture bid. And, we've got a lot to look forward to. We've got real goals and missions to achieve as a county. And I'm very positive about what we're going to achieve. And obviously the young people who are in Sub36 are really the legs driving that more often than not. And there's a really bright future ahead. And I'm very positive about the future.
Niamh?
Yeah, for me, especially being in the tech space, I've just seen so many more digital companies come as a result of the pandemic. I've seen more people open to the idea of new technologies and ways of working. So I think we've just got to push past that old way of working and adopt this new way. Look at ways of virtual working, look at ways of office. Not one employee in my business wants to work in the office full time. They all want a balance of, we want to go in and have a social engagement. We want to go in and meet people, have meetings, but we also want to work from home and get things done. So I think you've just got to take that on board, look at new ways. How can you do things better, and listen to the people within your business, see what they want. And I think we'll build back stronger than we ever have.
Definitely. And Jenny?
I agree with that point. I think we've got clients who never thought they could do remote working, that it was like a dirty word, talking about home working before the pandemic, and they've done it, and now some of them will never go back to the office. I think as Lancashire, we are a tight-knit community. I think we take things on the chin. We're not scared of having those difficult, honest conversations, and we can bounce back from this quicker than before.
Absolutely. More questions coming in on the chat box. Jonathan Finch says, what can young people, particularly those in their 20s, do to get noticed by Lancashire's business leaders? Niamh?
Well, I'm 22, so I would say just be yourself. You've got something to offer. Regardless of your experience, you've got something to offer. You've got something above somebody else. So I would just be passionate. I'd be ambitious, and I'd just go for it. Nobody's better than anybody else, and that's the culture within our business. Everybody is the same. Everybody's treated equally, whether you're a director or somebody that's coming as an assistance level. So I would just be yourself, say what you've got to do, and just strive to be better.
Absolutely. Lee?
Yeah, I think so often it's a case of understanding that if you are, say, sub-20, you've grown up in a very interesting and dynamic period. And that means that you have like an agile skill set by default, which is incredibly powerful and incredibly, able to be utilized. And really, it's just sprinkling a little bit of courage on top of that and being able to put your message out there to make a stand for the things that you believe in, and actually finding that authentic expression of who you are. And in that period of 2025 is when we really start to find ourselves and step out as an adult. And if you can do that in the business space as well, the leaders are always got their ear to the ground, finding out about the interesting new talent and the people who are willing to, be a bit brave and you will be right in their lens as soon as you step outside.
Absolutely. And Jenny?
I'm unfortunately not part of the 20 club anymore because I turned 30 last year. But I did get the opportunity to buy the business in my 20s, and I was part of the business. I worked as an employee within this business for 5 years before I got the opportunity to buy it. And I think if I hadn't have had that experience of being part of the business, I don't think I'd be where I was today, because I'd be totally naive at how to run a business. I've learned a lot because I've never done finances, accounting, bookkeeping, all those things that you don't do in a day-to-day employee job. But I think if I hadn't had that 5 years of being an employee, I wouldn't have been recognised by the owners that wanted to exit as the right succession for the next phase. So I think it's work hard. It's not to be afraid of putting your hand up and being bold and making yourself stand out to others, because there's a lot of people I find in business that are happy to just go through the mundane, and life needs that. That's part of life. We can't all be ambitious go-getters, but I think people that do have ambition need to embrace that and not be afraid to put their head above the parapet and push forward.
Fantastic. Some brilliant advice from all of you there. Lee, Niamh, and Jenny, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Now it's time for a quick update on the Sub36 Awards for 2021. The awards last year were a great success. We saw some amazing stories of innovation and resilience from Lancashire's young people in business. We're looking forward to seeing even more of those stories this year. We had so many people joining us for our first ever virtual awards ceremony last year. This year, we hope that it will be a real life event. Remember those? We are monitoring the situation closely. We will let you know as soon as we can. But entries are now open on the website for the 2021 awards. And we have a few new categories this year. So once again, you can nominate candidates as well. So if you know someone who you think should be entered, then please do nominate them through the Sub36 website. The awards are open to entrepreneurs and employees alike. The full list of categories is on the website, but our new categories are, first of all, the Career Development Award, which is awarded to individuals in Lancashire who can demonstrate a clear commitment to developing their skills and career. The award isn't about completing your license to practice, but it's about the steps that you've taken towards personal development. The award is open to anyone under 36, regardless of their position or their sector. We also have the Sub36 Business Award. This award is for businesses primarily owned by individuals aged under 36. The winner of this award will be able to demonstrate the business's achievement in terms of its own measure of success. We also have the Sub36 Sales Star Award. So obviously nothing happens until a sale is made. This category is all about celebrating those who make sales. And the Wellbeing Champion Award. This is awarded to people championing well-being in the workplace. So those are the new categories for this year. Our key entry dates. The entry deadline is Friday the 16th of July or Monday the 12th if you're nominating someone else, but Friday the 16th of July, the entry deadline. Finalists will be announced on Friday the 30th of July, so 2 weeks later. Then judging will take place on the 11th of August, that's the Wednesday, and then the awards, the ceremony, will be on Thursday, the 21st of October this year. Like we said, we don't know if it'll be a physical ceremony. We're hoping that it's going to be a physical ceremony this year, but it might be a virtual ceremony again. But either way, the awards will take place on Thursday, the 21st of October. All the details are on the website. If you go to sub36.co.uk, that's sub36.co.uk. It's free to enter up to 3 categories. So yeah, if you go on the website, you can create an account and you can get started. Right, we are going to hear from 2 of our 2020 winners. So please welcome Carolann Creane, Director of Dynamic Recruitment and winner of the Sub36 New Business Award, and Daniel Frampton, Financial Services Associate at Acumen Financial Partnership and winner of the Sub36 Apprentice Award. So starting with you, Carolann, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Hi, Mike. So, as you said, I'm the director here at Dynamic Recruitment based in Blackburn. We do what we say on the tin in terms of we recruit within the commercial, healthcare and sales fields. As a Blackburn girl born and bred, and knew that I always wanted to start my business in Lancashire. So we're able to support SMEs across the Lancashire region with the recruitment and growth plans.
Excellent. And Daniel?
Yeah, so my name is Daniel Frampton, and I'm a fully qualified IFA, so independent financial advisor working for Acumen Financial Partnership. We generally specialise in investment, pension, and financial protection advice. So that's sort of where we generally position ourselves in the market. That being said, we're qualified to do almost anything that you would expect a financial planning group to service.
Excellent. The chat box is open again if you have any questions for Carolann or for Daniel. Carolann, starting with you, how did you find the entry and judging process of the Sub36 Awards?
So we entered obviously last, I think it was last September, sorry, it would have been July that we put everything through, but we'd only started as a business in October 2019 previously. So it was kind of we'll go through the motions, and it was a good experience to talk about our business and meet other like-minded businesses in Lancashire. Never did I expect to get where we got to in such a short space of time. But it was really eye-opening for me as a director to be able to take a step back. Jennifer said quite a few things that rang quite true with me, and having always been an employee to then go into an employer, you really do see things from a completely different view. And going through that process, like I say, was quite eye-opening in just how far we'd actually come in a short space of time, and in the middle of a pandemic as well. So, yeah.
Excellent. And Daniel, how did you find the process?
I think generally speaking, I found it very comprehensive and very beneficial to take that time to reflect on what I've done and where I'm going in the future, because obviously that's what it's all about. It's about looking back, but also looking forward. I found that we don't generally get that involved with any sort of corporate events or award ceremonies, because quite a number of them can be pay to win, to be perfectly honest. It's about how many seats at a table you buy on the event or whatever. But obviously with this particular one, it's completely down to individual merit and how you conduct yourself during the process. So that was something that I found was hugely beneficial for my own development, but also the experience for the firm as well was really good.
And in terms of after you'd won the award, what did winning do for you, Carolann?
A massive entry moment for me and my team, because as I say, we've all gone through massive challenges within the last 12 months. To start a business on its own merit is difficult. To then do it in the middle of a pandemic, I felt it was just huge recognition for the team of just how hard they've worked, because without them, none of this was possible. And we then got introduced to a number of other people that had won awards, new businesses that were looking, because for us as a recruitment business, we want to be working with people for the long term and not short, quick wins. So it's really opened a lot of doors for us to find new niches within our team, but also to develop longer term relationships as well.
Excellent. And Daniel, what did winning do for you? I think, for the most part, it was a huge boost to my confidence. The sort of candidates that made it through to the final in my category, at least were huge. The industries they were in, the employers, they were, real titans. I mean, I believe one of them was BAE. So, to be sort of competing against the likes of that, and then to be told that you came out successful, it was huge. I'm sort of the first person in my family to sort of go down the route of an apprenticeship. So to then, successfully complete the apprenticeship and do all of the professional qualifications, then on top of that, be commended at this level. I did feel that, like, whilst it was a sort of it wasn't necessarily a path well trodden, for the family, I sort of proved that it was definitely one worth following. So yeah, I'm really pleased basically with how it all worked out.
And the prize for winning was mentoring and sales support. Carolann, have you accessed it yet?
I have. I'll be completely honest, it has highlighted that sometimes I spread myself a little bit too thin. So what I would say is, although it's amazing that you win this opportunity, I'm very fortunate to have a fantastic mentor in Jonathan Finch, who has gone through very similar sort of experiences to me and has created a hugely successful business. But it did allow me to take a time to step back and analyse areas that I probably didn't think needed any work on as well. So it's worth more than any money voluntary prize that you can get in having somebody that's been down that path, knows the ups and the downs through everything, and can coach you through it. So for that in itself, and for the team to see that I'm constantly updating myself, I'm not necessarily sitting back and just expecting them to do the work, I think was hugely beneficial.
And Daniel, have you accessed the support?
Absolutely, yeah. So Pauline Rigby from Forbes Solicitors has been my mentor. So far, I found that she's been an absolutely tremendous help in terms of sort of mentoring and guidance in the sort of few months that we've had together. She's probably added more value than most other people that I've come across, even people that I've worked with more closely. The experience that sort of Pauline's got that I've been able to tap into has been really second to none. And what's been really good about it is, whilst from a professional standpoint, the professional successes, obviously with her being a solicitor and me working in financial services, whilst those, processes and sort of how the industries are regulated, there are similar boards, similar operation, but it's a completely different ball game. As a result, it's allowed me to sort of tap into some legal knowledge and, sort of how the industries maybe can work together a little bit more. I mean, within weeks of that relationship establishing, we were sending business back and forth, and it's been absolutely huge. It's been a huge business development opportunity.
Fantastic. Well, some more great advice and insight there. Carolann and Daniel, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks to everyone who's joined us on the session today. There'll be a link in our follow-up email that'll be coming to you shortly. That'll be a link to the Sub36 website, so you can nominate your contacts and enter the awards via the website. We hope you've enjoyed the event this afternoon. Do let us know if you've got any feedback, things you'd like to see us do differently. Hopefully we will be able to move to physical events very soon, but do get in touch with us if you have any feedback. And thanks again to the Lancashire Skills Hub, who sponsored this issue's Sub36 Ones to Watch report. And thanks to our speakers, to Michele Lawty-Jones from the Lancashire Skills Hub, Lee Chambers from Essentialised Wellbeing Lancashire, Neve Allen, Sales and Marketing Director at IoT Horizon, Jenny Woolley, TWA Marketing, Carolann Creane from Dynamic Recruitment, and Daniel Frampton from Acumen Financial Partnership. Please do get involved in the awards. Head over to sub36.co.uk for all the details. Tell everybody that you know about the awards, everybody you walk past in the street, tell them about the awards. You can enter yourself, you can nominate a colleague, you can do both. And please do now meet each other, connect with each other. That's what we're about. So we're going to bring everybody into the session so that you can do a little bit of networking. So please stick around for that, and thank you again for joining us.